ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the UKLC. We just had XL get himself a 24-minute win over Barrage, and I mean that was a game.
It was one-sided, and yeah, it's rough for Barrage, but they still have weeks to redeem themselves. Top 7 teams will go to playoffs. There will be a gauntlet. There's a chance still to climb back up, and for Monk is to keep his tradition alive, making EU Masters.
And if you didn't guess it, behind Orcs' left shoulder is our MVP, Exile.
Yeah, really aggressive, constantly punished D.Va, and fortunately for XL, they finished the game before I hit late game, so they didn't have a chance to throw.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's the thing.
That's the key to winning.
Yeah.
They have to win before late game, otherwise they just throw.
But the thing is that Exile, when it works, his aggression on Tristana is so good. He's just absolutely punishing the other team constantly, and this shows an example of where it's worked so well. Because we were critical of him against Fnatic when he did overstep. But in a game like that, he was just able to constantly push advantages, and it felt like D.Va, who picked the Corki, which is supposed to be one of the safe blinds in this meta, had nowhere to go.
Yeah, but with that, XL have got themselves their first win of week 5 anyway, as we're now going to be looking towards our next game, which is going to be Phelan versus Enclave.
It is, and
don't know why I said it like that. I knew what it was. I was just being
both of
real
these
slow.
teams on 1 point, so they are currently tying for that relegation spot. Would be on head-to-head, but right now there isn't a head-to-head between them. This is the first time playing each other, so a win here would be huge, get you close to that playoff potential spot, and obviously away from relegation, which I know every single team wants to be, especially since if you look at last split, both our teams who went down in relegations got knocked out.
Yeah, I know. It's. I mean, we had 2 new teams joining. We had Envision and Demise. Demise are doing really good at the moment.
Yeah.
You can see that they're kind of at the moment in a more comfortable spot. You know, there are still a few more weeks, so there is still potential for all the other teams to catch up to them. But at the moment, Demise they're pretty comfortably locked into the UKLC. Envision, not quite so comfortable at the moment. Only just got themselves 1 point, but this is Enclave who got their first win last week. Phelan who got their first week 2 weeks ago as well. So, I mean, this is one of these kind of potential key head-to-heads.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it may be really crucial later in the split. If, you know, whichever team loses here ends up picking up another point, the head-to-head could be decided, and this could be the big match to do so. And obviously, if you win this one out, you have the potential to pick up more points. It's going to be a struggle up against XL, but I think it gives you a lot of opportunity to learn, even if you can't end up beating a big team like that. The thing is that all these teams on the lower points have played so much less matches than the teams at the top of the table. Fnatic and XL have played the most matches out of any of, I believe, should be the most matches. Obviously, you do play less when you're sitting on a tower, but just the fact that
tower rematches and things.
yeah,
as well.
when they climb up, they have so many matches to play. It gives you good practice. You get to warm up. I remember Prosper saying, from his point of view on Fnatic, he preferred challenging because you got to play all those matches to climb up. Phelan and Enclave have had a very limited amount of matches, both on 5 so far for the split.
Yeah.
And so winning this not only just gives you that point, it gives you the advantage in the head-to-head. No, it's 5.
No, because we're on week 5.
Yeah.
You're right.
Gives you another match, another amount of experience, and it would be against XL, which would be a massive upset if you won it, and a lot of attention would be on that. But also, even if you don't, it's a good opportunity to learn and improve. And that's the main thing, is that we're getting towards the end of the split. Both these teams looking for playoffs, but they also want to be stronger rosters when they get there.
I believe we actually have a tweet to bring up as well. There we go. It's Enclave talking about their win here. Well, I say win, their game here. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Looking to slay the demon, cut him down.
I think I put Enclave to win on my prediction. I actually can't remember. We don't have a prediction today, so
we'll just have to guess. I'm just going to answer after the game, and whoever. So last game I did predict XL to win.
Yeah,
and I'll let you know who I predicted after this game.
Actually, we have predictions here. You went Phelan, I went Enclave, and our guest went Enclave. You'll see who the guest is after this game.
I thought it went Phelan.
No, sorry, yeah, Phelan. Yeah, I was the only Enclave here, so I'm the only true believer.
Yeah.
Right now.
So
I've got it on the floor. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty important matchup. Let's have a little look at our teams that are coming up. First of all, starting up with Phelan, I believe. No.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We're waiting, but we'll see.
Oh, we have predictions now, do we? Okay, that's what I'm getting in my ear. There we go. You got to speak up, Borge. I can't hear you. All right, so you guys at home are in the same camp as me here. Don't worry, Orcs, you've actually got yourself a point now.
Oh, yes. Love it. Love to see it. That's what I'm playing for. That's what I'm going for. That point on the board is the massive thing. But yeah, next game, pretty split vote overall. We do have a split one as well with Demise vs M&M. They're pretty close on points, and M&M had a rough week last week, and yet Jake decided to predict them as tower champions. So
I stick to my rule of always predicting a new team to be at the top. And I felt like XL would be too easy to kind of predict as the tower champion. I never vote for the same team to be on the top of the tower. And I mean, you can't smack talk it because I am smashing you right now in points.
That's the thing, is that, like, other than the tower challenge, it's a 50-50 whether you're going to win or lose a prediction.
Yeah.
You know, if you're just guessing, if you have no
so you're
idea
saying
about
it's
the teams.
luck?
No, but what I'm saying is the fact that if someone guessed all the predictions last week, they would have done better than me.
You got 0 points, didn't you?
Yeah, so if someone guessed, if I asked my mom who knows
To be
nothing
honest,
about
mate,
League of
I'm fairly
Legends,
certain at this point you are just guessing.
no, I'm trying to put thought process into it, and I think about it. I'm like, how have they performed? Which team's doing well? And then I turn up on the day, and it's just like, well,
Mate, you've overthought it. Let's have a little look at Phelan, who's going to be our first team starting up on the blue side in match 2. In the top lane is going to be Bear Tree, Soft in the jungle, Chimera in the mid, Acute ADC, and Wisdom as support.
yeah, so Phelan made a roster change. We're now going to look at Enclave, Rengus in the top lane, Scoot as a jungler, Beely mid, and Kevo and Raisins in the bot lane. But big thing to talk about is Bear Tree coming in for Phelan as the top lane. I did speak to Coach Connor, who is the working with Pad as head coaches for Phelan. And he said that the reason was Zizzle he wasn't feeling in sync with the team, didn't feel super motivated, and they thought that giving Bear Tree an opportunity would be the better option. He is a complete rookie, debut in the UK scene and in the competitive, and he has been scrimming the team, and they said he's doing surprisingly well. They were a bit concerned about communication issues,
Yep.
which you are always concerned about with rookies, but apparently he's been pretty solid. So they have high hopes for him in this first match.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about our matchup that is going to be the one to watch. It's going to be Wisdom versus Raisins in the bot lane, the supports here. I mean, both of these guys have actually been standout players on their teams. I think Wisdom has just been, you know, he's had so many really good games so far. And like, I know they haven't translated into wins, but there's been a good showcase of talent from both Raisins and Wisdom so far.
I think the big thing is both of them had games against XL, and both of them had performances that really challenged them. Wisdom was on that Alistair. He made Jarnan's life hell. And then for Enclave, it was Raisins on the Lux, and he was just getting so many clutch bindings throughout. I think both these supports are really solid players, and as you said, the score doesn't reflect that. They haven't been able to translate into many wins, but they are very strong performers. And there's a lot of synergy as well, because we've had Enclave keeping Raisins and Kevo from last split. And then the Shu and Wisdom, although they went on the same team last split, they've played together a lot. They've been on teams since the Challenger Series days. So both these bot lanes are going to be looking to go heavy for the when they're going toe-to-toe, and looking to just get an advantage there.
Now, do you want to know why I voted for Enclave to take this win? It's because Beely. This man has impressed me so much so far. We actually have a little graph and kind of stats to show up both for Chu, who is the kind of main carry here for Phelan, and then Beely, who I would peg as the main carry for Enclave. You can kind of see how they've performed so far across the board. You can see kind of champs played, gold per minute and stuff like that.
Yeah, so the big thing is KDA, they both have the highest on their teams. Gold per minute, Chu has the highest on Phelan and 10th overall, and that's in the whole league. So when you consider that Fnatic and XL have, you know, well, I mean, obviously you're not going to count supports to have lower gold percentage, but considering how low they're on the ranking, having 10th overall gold per minute is pretty staggering. It shows how much he's a massive carry. And then the big one for Beely is his CS per minute, on average, has been 8.23. That's 4th for mid laners. And the ones who are above him are Special, Magifelix, and Ronaldo. Now, Ronaldo's stats are a little bit skewed because he hasn't been in many games, but Special and Magifelix are 2 of our premier mid laners. And Beely's keeping up with them in farm. And obviously, farm isn't everything, but it's a massive sort of suggester as to how well you do in the laning phase and how much gold you're getting. And the more gold you have, the more successful you're going to be in terms of making an impact. And Beely, he's been playing this Azir pretty heavily recently. And if he keeps up that high gold generation on a champion like that, absolutely can carry Enclave.
We'll have to see whether or not Phelan decides to take that away as the Aurelia. No surprises there. Is going to be our first ban. Followed up by a Volibear ban there. Bear Tree makes sense.
I mean,
does that mean Ivan and Maokai are going to be the next 2 bans?
I doubt it very much. It's actually a ban away from Wisdom. We did play the Volibear support. Has been picked up a lot as a counter to Ezreal, but also seen some successes otherwise. And obviously not being too practiced against the Volibear support, wanting to ban it away for that reason. And it's interesting that Phelan are going for very much targeting the OPs with Silas as well. And so far, Enclave, they've looked at sort of targeting the pocket picks coming out from Phelan, things that they may not be super practiced against.
Yeah, take away some of the kind of more comfort picks here from some of these Phelan members. As while they didn't win last week, they did get their first win over, you know, the split so far in Enclave. You know, they're coming off the back of at least 1 point now. Want to ride that momentum into this game here versus Phelan. The Kiana is going to be taken away here. We haven't seen a single Kiana.
No.
The entire split.
And it's interesting, last week we had 2 games it was banned. The rest it wasn't even picked. But so far this week we have a 100% ban rate for it. I think it was announced it would be played very late last week. It was disabled for a time. And I think teams are now practiced and respecting it. Yumi comes out, another massive ban here. And then Enclave, it's the last one. A lot of power picks still available. There's Aatrox and Nico, which are big picks for Enclave. There's Karma potentially, which Phelan like to pick up. But that was pretty much with the top laner Zizzle. He has been a Karma top player for a long time before he was on Phelan that became a staple meta pick. And also, Tristana will be taken off the cards, but Anivia was something that was occasionally thrown as a ban towards Chimera because we saw such success from him in week 1.
Well, that's going to be the Tristana. Taken away. It's interesting because I like when I think of a Chew, I think of Tristana, but now at the moment in the current state of the game, like
it's a mid laner.
Tristana could be a mid laner as well. As it looks like maybe we're going to see the Sona Taric or Sona something go in the bot laners, and you can't actually kind of pick the Taric up here. Taric into Sona, like just
the thing is as well
support
as
is
Tom
bad
with,
matchups.
and I think yes, we've seen these similar bot lanes, but I think just Sona AP carry is really strong. And the Chew, you saw how much damage he was doing that last time he played it. And it makes it very difficult for Enclave to pick a matchup in this bot lane. I honestly feel like they're just going to go for power picks. The Aatrox or the Nico are big ones that they'd like to get their hands on, but instead going straight for that Cassiopeia. And if they play that bot, that's something that could go toe-to-toe with scaling compared to the Sona.
Yeah, I mean, when you got like the constant healing coming out from the Sona, that's kind of the way it plays. Is I think it was Prospect kind of refers to it to kind of like being in an Overwatch team fight where everyone's constantly topping up HP. That's effectively what it's like playing into the Sona Taric, but Cassiopeia is constantly putting damage out as well.
Thing. If you take Morale on Cassiopeia and you throw a Miasma down, that's almost like an Ana grenade.
Yeah. We're not even casting League of Legends anymore. All right, well, that's actually going to be a Pyke picked up here. So this is the change Pyke with the cut going to him as well as his AD carry, plus the shutdown golds and all the other allocations. So this lane can hard snowball.
And this is the same bot lane that actually Eminem played, and they had a great early game, but then they really fell off late game, which is a bit surprising considering how impactful this lane should be later on. But if Enclave decided to put that there, they would be going from a similar thread from a similar cloth as Eminem have. Phelan do go over the Tom. That is what they played in the bot lane last time. Offers a lot of safety, and now they have to round out their first 3 picks. And they're going to look towards the Aatrox. So could go mid, could go top, could even go jungle. So it is a flexible one, and it denies it from Rengis, who has had some really solid Aatrox performances.
The interesting thing here, though, when you're playing the Tahm Kench into the Pyke, is your Grey Health isn't an ability. He will cut through it. As long as that base bar is at the execute range, Grey Health will not do you anything. So you have to kind of make sure that you're popping it earlier so that you can block as much damage as possible. And now it looks like Beely going to be opting into something we've been seeing him picking up more and more recently. It is this Azir. Like you were saying before the game started, he averages these high gold per minute stats, which just lends itself perfectly into this Azir.
Absolutely, and he picked it both games last week. He's going to pick it here again, unsurprisingly. I think that's a big reason why the Trist ban came in, because it reduces the amount of threat up against him. I wouldn't be surprised to see Enclave potentially taking, Corki, and then, it comes out, and then maybe the Anivia as the bans, just to stop Chimera from taking some safe picks that can scale against it. But Beely on this Azir is going to be pretty monstrous, but it reduces the amount of lanes that you can put this Cassiopeia in, the less viable as a flex. I do think we'll see a bot lane, but I don't know for sure as of yet. And now it goes over to Phelan to look for bans, and Jungler is where I expect to be thrown, just because of the fact that you're still a little bit unsure of what's going to be put top lane, but you could still throw bans top lane. Fiora, it is the Korean counter to Aatrox, so would put Beartree in a more comfortable position.
If he's playing the Aatrox.
If. That's
if
a big
he's
if.
playing the Aatrox. That's the key thing.
It does suggest it by the fact they banned Fiora.
Yes.
But it could be a bait.
I mean, they might not even know themselves. They might still be saving it as a flex.
How can Enclave know what they're doing if Phelan don't
Exactly. They're actually just rolling dice right now. And they're just kind of going, Aatrox, jungle. All right, that's what we're going to do.
That's how you draft in Season 9 League of Legends.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so...
You just pick a bunch of champs and then assign where they go. So that's going to be the Hecarim ban here coming out from Enclave. They don't want to deal with something that can be really proactive on the map. That ulti as well can start off some disgusting team fights, especially when he kind of dives through the backline and then suddenly, while you're all feared, an Abyssal Voyage just dumps the Tahm Kench Sona on top of you.
Yeah, and then Camille taking off the cards is the second one.
Okay, Aatrox is going top.
They're hinting that.
I
We
would
don't know
say
for
that it
sure.
looks going
They've
top.
left a lot of junglers open, so it now comes down to what Scoot wants to pick. I feel like they should take his pick here. It does mean it's going to be blind, but I think he's pretty comfortable with that. Sejuani's been a big go-to for him, but Sylas has been his major pop-off pick. And when you have an Azir in the mid lane, I think I'd prefer the Sylas here. You have some good ults to seal away, but he's actually going to go for the Lee Sin, so wanted to have more early pressure.
Sylas
Which
is banned.
You're right. I was testing you.
Oh, were you?
You passed. Sylas is banned away, so wouldn't be playing that. Goes to Lee Sin as well. Pushed a bit down from his pool. Again, Sejuani's been a big pick for him, but I think when you don't have melee champions to proc it, it makes a lot of sense. And having an early pressure jungler facilitates the late game carries you've already picked up. But now Phelan, they need to round out the rest of their composition.
And it looks like they're going to round it out with the Xerath. Hasn't had his ult changes quite yet.
Nope, but we did see Vixen play this last week. It was the old counter to Azir because Azir does struggle against poke and you can just outrange him, but is a bit vulnerable in the current meta, especially when you look at the likes of an Azir and a Lee Sin. If you get on top of him, you're going to be able to knock him into a bad position. It's so hard. And Chimera, he's going to have to position almost flawlessly here. And the one downside is that a Sona Tom doesn't really benefit as Xerath. You really want a bruiser who can push forward and benefit from the healing, but Soft going to pick up Olaf. He did play that last week. Not too surprised for that one to come in, and it is a great pick to synergize with the Sona. You give him the movement speed, you give him the extra damage on his auto attacks, and the healing as well. I believe is buffed when you pop your W.
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember. You're the one that did all the research on the patch video.
Pretty sure it's all here. And actually, last pick is going to be this Akali.
So that's going to be bot lane Cassiopeia.
Yeah.
I'm assuming top lane Akali. We did see a top lane Azir last week from Fnatic, but it's not what I would want to be flicking into an Olaf.
It's definitely going to be Rengus, top lane, Rengus on Akali.
Yeah.
They could switch things up, but...
Actually, no, you don't want to be playing Akali into Xerath. Like, screw that.
I mean, you have pretty good lane potential. If you're really worried about the lane matchups, you could put Azir top lane. We don't know for sure, but it's definitely going to be Phelan on Azir. Definitely going to be Rengus on Akali. It just depends where they want to put things. And now you have a lot of scaling, but also some early game focus, because once you hit 6 on that Akali, there's a lot of kill pressure. The Lee Sin has the early pressure, especially if you have a Pyke roaming, but both teams have late game aspects. If you look at the mid and the bot laner, neither of them are 80 carries, they both scale massively, but the junglers are much more early game focused. So I expect to see them be in the matchup to watch. Scoot and Soft both had pretty solid performances so far. It's going to be down to them to turn the tides of this game.
And did you see those teleports? We got 6 teleports in this game. So this is the team fight button comp where everybody presses teleport and suddenly you got a 10-on-10 bot lane before you even know it. So this is going to be a really, really explosive game. And I want to track some of this early stuff on the junglers. That's where my attention's going here into this game, because I do feel that the junglers are going to be able to impact the map the most. They're going to be the ones that we do want to be kind of tracking in this game, because I feel like either team has the capability just to hard snowball, and the other one can't do anything to answer out.
Yeah, absolutely. If you get ahead, both teams have sort of similar aspects in terms of scaling, and it's going to feel oppressive. There's so much wave clear on both sides. It does mean that if one team does fall behind, they can stall it out, but as soon as you get Baron, that's going to be the big turning point.
All right, well, we've loaded through onto Summoner's Rift for our second game of the day. Phelan versus Enclave. Both of these teams on 1 point, looking to pick up their second, looking to just kind of slingshot themselves away from the bottom of the pack. This would be a good place to do it. You never know. If you get yourself a really good game versus XL as well after this, you might actually make it into the finals.
Yeah, and if you just win every game for the rest of the split, then you could be in first. But, you know, take it one game at a time. Enclave against Phelan, they both want to get that second point here, but only one will be able to do it. And big point to watch is what we're looking at right now, the junglers. Scoot on that Lee Sin, Soft on that Olaf. They need to find the early pressure. I feel like there's probably a bit of an easier time for Scoot in terms of the fact that punishing a Xerath is easier with how immobile he is. But Soft, he's going to already start off by trying to deny this red buff. He's on a ward to spot it out, but no real contestation coming in. And instantly, Scoot, he starts walking over. He's going to steal away Soft's red buff and just equalize. And this does mean that the map will be split to a degree.
Chimera will spot him out. Actually takes the kick here. Scoot just jumps in. Just go get a good trade. Electrocute comes down and Scoot takes minimal damage. That is really big. This means Beely has a very comfortable setup in the lane, and Scoot can look to try and pick up this red buff, but they are sending multiple members over. So actually, he might just get free buffed here.
Yeah, it may well. Could potentially look for something else here. Just throw out the Sonic Wave, but doesn't connect. And now Scoot, it was a negative trade for Chimera overall, especially since Elisa has so much sustain. But he did deny Scoot from getting this red. But actually, it looks like he's going to look for it again.
This could be really, really risky. Got Raisins with him this time as he's on top of a ward. Kevo also roaming up the shove from the Enclave bot lane to help them, but Soft is now hanging over that wall, does have his smite available. Might just try and steal this away. Scoot takes away the red buff. Soft's ignited. He is low. The stun comes down. Raisins finds first blood. Has that hook to pull Chimera back over. The kick goes wide, but Scoot doesn't need to land that. That's 2 kills for Enclave.
And this is the advantage. Achu and Vizda moved so early that they fell behind in terms of getting that level 2 push. So Kevo and Raisins came over the level 2, and Raisins was just huge. They had the flash to make sure the stun landed. This is why it was a matchup to watch. And I feel like the thing is Wisdom has picked Tom Kench. You can't make as many proactive plays, especially in the early levels, but Raisins already proving to be an asset on this pike.
Well, Scoot needs to run away here. Does actually take the knock up and the Infernal Chains to get pulled back, but he queues away to safety. Smites for the heal as well, and Soft. He tried to free buff Scoot, but Scoot was able to deny him that. Scoot also tries to get himself a free buff in return, and now Rengus, it's his turn to make a play go. Soft, this has just not been his game. He is getting invaded across the map. The flash comes down, actually. They chase him down, the ignite's there. That's going to be the Shuriken flip. Rengus comes in and gets himself a kill. Soft is being bullied right now.
That is the worst case scenario. You went for that invade and it has backfired so spectacularly. You're giving over kills left and right. You're losing all your buffs, and Scoot, he has reacted flawlessly to this early pressure from Soft. And we said jungle was the place to watch for how they can impact the game. Scoot has already started off really well.
Ice cool mental by Scoot there as looks not going to quite find his mark onto a Chew here, but you got to keep in mind, Scoot has been playing with a lot of kind of respect as well. He's always not going to just pull that trigger. He waits until his teammate is available to come and help him. And that's why all these invades have worked so well.
I mean, that's if you just try and dash in on the Olaf, he will beat you close up. He will just out-trade you. He'll be able to out-heal your damage as well. But he's never just looked to take a 1v1 with Soft, and it's testament to Enclave's communication and the lane's willingness to move in the fact that he's found so much success right now. Kevo and Raisins facilitated that bot lane play, Rengus facilitated it there, and they've put their team in a really great position right now. 1,600 gold ahead already, and if observers could show us quickly, we'd be able to see the gold difference between junglers, because in items, we can already see it's massive, but yeah, 750 between those two junglers at 5 minutes.
That is really, really rough as Rengus gonna just use himself. Quick trade onto Bear Tree there. I was going for the Electrocute, not the
Conqueror.
Not the Fleet Footwork, actually was what I was gonna say.
Oh, were you talking about Rengus?
Yes, I was talking about Rengus.
I think Fleet Footwork, you're more likely to go into a range matchup.
Yeah.
I think both these could have gone Conqueror, but I think they know it's gonna be a bit more bursty play.
Oh no, Soft. This is so unfair.
And he
Scoot takes
gets
away
it.
the chicken.
That hits, that stings.
Imagine that. Some topless dude just slides in and takes away your KFC bucket.
That's rough, man. And it's, if it couldn't get any worse, First Dragons and Infernal, and Soft is in no position to contest this. Will be a very early pickup coming out from Young Enclave, sorry. And Beely, he's really comfortable in the mid lane. He's 15 CS up. We did talk about this. This man's CS per minute, already leading the pack compared to everyone else in the game.
Second Infernal. It's like last week in the UK. It's
I mean,
flaming
you've seen
hot
the
down
weather?
there. Yeah. Wait.
Global warming.
That's it. It's reflecting here on the Summoner's Rift. So, all right. Speaking of the heat, what is like your S+ tier ice cream?
Ooh.
Or ice lolly, I guess. Ice lolly. Let's go ice lollies.
Ice lolly? I do like Fab.
Oh man, I'm so glad you said Fab. Fab is the correct answer. There actually, that wasn't like a question where it was like, what do you think?
There's no opinions.
There was no opinion. There was a correct answer, and Fab was the answer.
They are pretty good.
Well done. This is why you are normally the superior analyst, but in this case, you're not.
I don't know anything about League of Legends. I just
you know a lot
pretend
about
to.
Fabs.
Yeah, I know about. I mean, people see me on camera. You know, I'm a guy who enjoys my Fabs. Shows a bit too much on the waistline, but what can you do?
I hear someone on the Twitch. A lot of people are saying Twisters here. Actually, by a lot, I mean 2, but that's more than I can count.
Fabs are horrible. Well, you know, everyone is entitled to an opinion, and yours is just wrong.
Solero. Who says Solero?
Lemonite did, so, you know.
Are you middle-aged? That's Solero. Like, I never look at, like, when you go to the shop and you're like, oh, I fancy an ice cream. I never look and go, yeah, Solero. That's the one. That's me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if I was stuck on a desert island and it was between Soleros and, nothing, then yeah.
Borrelia, not only do you have the best dad in the scene, you also have an incredible opinion there. He says Fab over Twister over Solero.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. You saw those, there was all those lolly tier lists going out. We should get a definitive UK one.
Yeah. I did a Pokemon tier list during EU Masters.
Yeah. I mean, you tried to do a Pokemon tier list.
No, it was really good. The second one we did was really controversial. I might do a Legendaries one at some point. I'm curious who you think the definitive Legendary top tier Pokemon is.
I mean, I know I'm going to be biased because, I prefer all the older ones because there was the games I played. But to be honest, I mean, everyone knows the S tier has to be the dog with the sword.
I mean,
it's dog with a sword.
Oh. It's dog with sword. That's actually Rengar's taking a tower shot here. Has his ulti. Oh! Flashes away Beartree. What an outplay. So he finds himself the kill in the top lane.
Such a back and forth, and I thought Rengar was going to find it there. The ult 2 damage does so much when you're that low. It's a massive execute, but Beartree flashes away and finds a solo kill in his debut on the UKLC stage.
Yeah, I need a replay of that. That was sick.
That was so sick. We need a replay with slow-mo as well for that flash. That was hype.
Oh, my lord.
And this is a rookie player. He's coming in fresh for Phelan to try and shake things up. And already solo killing Enclave's top laner, who is one of their biggest oppositions. They're both on 1 point. 1 point, sorry. And Beartree could be the difference maker in this game.
You can see that Scoot is potentially setting up for some kind of action here in this bot lane, but for the moment, not actually going to pull that trigger, just goes back to farm.
And this is how Beely gets his yes per minute. Yeah. He just steals away
it's the old X-Peke. Do you remember when who was it? It was X-Peke and Froggen.
Yeah.
They used to race for like CS at 20.
CS. Yeah. And it used to just be like, you just steal the jungle camps, and they just be used to who gets 300 CS sooner.
Jungler. Oh man. It was like Orianna was the champ they did it on.
Carthus right. As well was a big one. Still waiting for this replay.
Yeah, hopefully we get that. I'm getting some bad looks.
They're working on it.
You better be working on it. All right, they all look confused, so no one's been listening. All right, production, listen up. We want a replay of that sick outplay top lane. Get it done.
I'll count
they've all started like throwing paper around and start scrambling around rooms.
I'll count down from 5. If it's not done, we're just leaving. Cast over.
If it's not done.
If it's not done by 15 minutes, we're legally allowed to leave.
All right, Scoot's gonna get himself a Rift Herald for himself.
Yeah, good pickup, and again, he's showing his dominance in the early levels, facilitating his team.
There we go.
There's a replay.
If you cut this short, I will rage quit so hard.
Starts up pretty slowly, and then a good knock-up from Beartree. Rengar gets a ton of damage down, uses your activation for a stun and takes a tower hit, and here, the ult 2 is flashed away from, and that absolutely would have killed Beartree. The execute damage is huge and just a great play, but now we're seeing an engage coming bot.
Yeah, don't want to give up a second Infernal. You can see Soft trying to get his way over. That's the Miasma. That's the flash forward. Crescendo lands onto 2. Kevo gets a shield off. Petrifying Gaze into the kick. They try to get some damage down onto 1, but nobody's able to enter into the fight. Beely zoned away on the edge of the fight, and it looks like they're going to continue up onto the Drake. It's starting to reset, but you've got to keep in mind, Phelan have the healing to work with. This Infernal Drake now 2,800 HP. A Scoot will take a Q, take a W, take a stun, hook onto Wisdom. They get the stun off onto him. The kick comes down. Not enough to steal it away. Scoot gets himself a kill. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far as the teleport's coming in. Beely on that flank still. That's going to be a Q going a little bit wide. Hook by Raisins lands onto Beartree. They gobble him up and spit him out into the Miasma. Trying to get that damage down to Raisins. He gets himself a stun. The right to the Arcane brings down the pain onto Enclave here as Beely is still dodging and diving away from everybody, but he gets stunned up and he's going to be able to walk away. Phelan get the Drake and they get more kills in the fight.
Yeah, great advantage coming out from Phelan. They were behind for so much of the game, but they equalized the Infernal and they managed to get away. Beely still has his shuffle.
Oh, he's going for it. Beely onto Chimera. Misses out on that auto, but finally gets himself the kill. The stacks are going to come down, and Wisdom gobbles up for the kill. Scoot unable to chase for save his mid laner.
Yeah, and they do manage to get the 1-for-1 in the end of that play. But overall, a win for Phelan. There was a massive goal difference opening up for Enclave, considering how early the game was, but is drastically being closed. And this is a problem if you try and set up around objectives. Oh, TP coming in.
Kevo doesn't have flash. He doesn't have ult. He's just going to try and get some damage into Wisdom. Those Twin Fangs doing a lot of damage. Dodges out on the Q, but he's about to get gobbled up. And Chu is low HP, poisoned, and Wisdom gobbles him up. The stacks have worn out, and now Kevo throws out the miasma, trying to get the healing of those Twin Fangs down. But a Chu is able to get himself that kill. Yeah. Very close to going 1v2 though from Kevo.
Definitely makes it close, but it's played very well for Mature and Wisdom just to stop any chance of them going down. They take out Kevo, but in return, Scoot is looking to make use of that Rift Herald.
Yeah, going to try and pick up some plates here. You can see Beely quickly bolting it down, trying to get these gold from the plates, but looks like Scoot will just be the one solo picking up some plates in the mid lane. Chimera going to try and clear this out as Scoot steals away from Soft, has got himself a level advantage. Beely now stepping up for a little bit of poke.
And after that pickup from the plates, Scoot has the highest gold in the game, which is pretty staggering to say the least. Beely, I expected a bit more from him in the last team fight. He had his flash, he had the shuffle for such a long time, and just didn't use it in the main team fight. Opted for a kill on the back end, which, you know, I feel like you wanted to find it when your team was still alive, but I understand the difficulty. Because of the sustain from a Chu and the poke from Chimera, it just felt like almost like an unkillable turret positioning around that dragon.
Rengus takes the knock-up. Burn chains go a little bit wide, and Rengus able to walk away from that.
Yeah, I feel like Rengus needs to get a Gunblade to sort of match his sustain coming out from Bear Tree, because these trades, even if you try them favorable, the sustain coming out from this Aatrox is going to put you at a disadvantage overall.
All right, well, let's have a little look at the items that have been picked up. The Archangel Staff is started for Kevo. Starting to stack that up towards the Serap's Embrace. Beely got himself the Nashers. Oh, that's the Stinger, sorry.
Stinger. Working on the Nashers.
Working on the Nashers. Got the cooldown reduction. And Scoot maybe coming in for the flank. Gets a stun to the face, gets slowed down. Has to jump to Raisins, takes a Q. The right of the Arcane's coming in. They're coming in for the damage, and the Ignite's there. Soft finds the kill. Scoot. What was that overstep as Rengus is getting outplayed by Bear Tree in the top lane?
Once again, he finds a solo kill. Bear Tree popping off in his debut.
He's doing so well here. Another Q connects. That's a lot of damage onto Kevo. Just chunks him out, and he has to walk away.
What can you do? In that situation, you just get poked down so heavily there. Phelan, they were struggling a bit in the early levels, but they have full control right now.
Phelan are just dismantling Enclave, who had such a good start to this game. It's not over yet, though. Beely still has himself 2 kills. He's starting to kind of try and spike on this Azir as quick as possible. His first turret blood is still an option. Let's have a little look at this top lane play.
Yeah, so once again, both top laners just waiting for the opportunity. As Bear Tree decides to go aggressive, Rengus looks for the ult again. And it's just not enough damage now. You've fallen too far behind. Has to flash out, and the sustain from Aatrox comes in clutch here. Really well positioned there to dash in and still get that 3rd Q. Sweet spot. Bear Tree showing a lot of mastery in this matchup.
Yeah, Bear Tree looking absolutely unstoppable. He's actually goes for a bit of a trade onto Rengus. Rengus throws down the chains, does have the help of the rest of his team this time as Raisins jumping in. That's going to be a teleport kick down onto Bear Tree. Shutdown picked up with the ulti picked up from Raisins. He actually gets himself a hook onto Chimera, who's low. Now that execute's available again, and it's a double kill for Raisins.
And the gold goes so heavily in favor of Enclave. 2,000 now, and that's the power of this changed pike. You pick up so much gold with the extra changes. Another 300 added on to the initial, well, another 300, yeah, another 300.
600 gold total.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And that's added on to the kill as well.
And a shutdown.
He was not the person you wanted to TP up there. Xerath, we talked about how the positioning is so crucial. You don't want to turn up in the middle of the likes of an Akali and a Lee Sin.
Pike made 1,200 gold.
That was just from those 2 ults.
That was just from that. That's going to be the ulti thrown down, and Kevo keeps overextending on his own.
and just
This is what
blown up.
Tarkench does. Tarkench deals with people who are overextended in a long lane.
And once again, we're looking at a matchup to watch. Wisdom manages to punish Kevo when Raisins turned around that fight in the top lane and got that double kill with the ult. Both supports doing their best to facilitate their team. Very much more carry focus coming out from Raisins. He is getting so much gold off the back of this, but Wisdom, he's trying to set up his team, and right now it's Chu. He's in a pretty good position. 1-0-5 is the scoreline you want your Sona to be. He's providing utility, and Scoot.
A lot of damage onto Scoot, but keep in mind, Raisins is closing in on that ulti. Right, the Arcane's coming onto Scoot as he does take 2 of those shots. Low HP, but not low enough. They do poke him down, and Scoot's going to have to just go pick up his red buff, try and recover some HP for the moment. The Chimera is able to really pressure out these waves at this point. It's scary if you're Beely. You've got a lot of wave clear to contest with.
Yeah, and that's the one big thing is that Beely has been pretty clean at avoiding the poke so far. And he is the big one because he has the most wave clear out of all on Enclave. He is the one who will keep their towers standing. So he's done well so far to avoid that poke coming out from Phelan, because if he gets chunked out, that's when objectives start falling.
Raisin's just trying to clear out some of this vision here. But Phelan have placed down to this top side of the map, and now Scoot is making moves towards the top lane. Rengus is playing a bit of baiting, but Soft is also playing baiting. Rengus jumps out the shuriken flip. That's going to be the kick onto Bedry. He's going to get executed, but it's too early. Soft gets hooked back. The stun connects onto one, but that's going to be the ulti coming out. Rengus leaps over the wall as Raisins forced to flash away. Teleport's coming in, and Rengus is going to go down. Beely now onto that flank. The miasma's been placed, and Enclave will walk away the losers of that fight.
Yeah, they will be able to back off, but actually, Chu could be looking.
It's scary if you're a Chu. Still, Kevo is able to do a lot of damage. That's the flash tongue lash onto Kevo. Can see that Kevo is flashless, and he is going to be made easy work off. Soft finds himself another kill, and Phelan once again. As soon as they start to lose fights, they turn it around and they pick up a big team fight win.
And that's the thing, they're able to chase down. They have the power of the Sona who can provide the speed buffs and the healing. So when a fight gets extended, they do so well. Raisins mistimed the ult in the last fight. And the thing is with Enclave is you need a bursty team fight if you're going to win out. Any long drawn out ones are all going to be Phelan favored.
That's going to be the stun onto Beely, just to do a bit of damage here. Raisins is hanging about, doesn't have his ulti, but the wave clear. It's too little, it's too late. Raisins finds himself a bit of damage onto Wisdom as they're chasing up for a lot of poke. Teleport's even going to get used here. This should be Beartree joining up with the rest of the team. Dodges out on the hook, a great umbral dash in time.
I mean, it's nice to force TP, but on the back of everything they lost across the board, massive disadvantage coming out the side of Enclave. They're still actually ahead in gold, but it's staggered super heavily by the fact they have a Pike. If you look at the gold differences, I mean, yes, Wisdom is still up in gold because he's managed to collect a ton by being the Tom Kench. But so much of that gold, I mean, to be honest, just a ton of gold is on the supports. Right now, the big differential is in the mid lane between Beely and Chimera, so that farm has been making a massive difference, and it's something we talked about before the game. Despite all the action, despite all the back and forth, Beely still managing to get that 10 CS per minute mark, which is even ahead of his average.
See here, but Phelan group up to try and clear out some of this vision, place some vision here at the Baron Nashor. They know that this is an objective that Enclave are actually capable of taking very quick with this Cassiopeia, who has the blasting one and the Aptone, so most likely building towards what I expect to be a Morellonomicon just to cut through some of this healing. Because you've got the Aatrox, you've got the Sona, you've got the Olaf. There's so much just base healing on the Phelan team, but someone needs to apply Grievous Wounds. You can see Rengus is also working towards his own Morellos.
Yeah, but I think that his is more for the 1v1. Having the Morello and the Cassiopeia, he's very good at applying it to a lot of people, especially with miasma. It means if you do get hit by that, not only you're grounded, your healing is heavily cut into. You're right, though. Enclave are really good at taking a quick Baron, but the difference is that Phelan can take a very safe Baron. Because of the healing from the Sona, it's very hard for them to take much damage on the back off it, so they can easily just start putting damage to the Baron. If Enclave turn up, they can back off and...
Tongue Lash Raisins is in the shop. Does get himself out with the Phantom Undertow, though.
Yeah, so Pike can very easily escape those situations. A lot of control came over to Enclave there. Phelan going to look to shove up this mid wave and then move over to the Baron area and get some control themselves. Big advantage as well that we haven't talked about is when you play the Sona plus X, Sona gets wards as well. You can see the Frostfang on Sona, meaning she's able to apply the extra vision to put you in a really favorable position. The side of Phelan, and they are actually looking for some control of this Dragon area. Infernal, the next one. A massive pickup for either team. Baron has got a ward on it, So it's not like Enclave can just head over there and rush it. But both these teams are looking to contest this bot side river.
Vision pretty much in control, though, by Enclave so far, as 4 members of Enclave were spotted out on that ward right there. Looking to get channeled up by Raisins, but you know where he's aiming, you know where he's coming from. It's so hard to actually contest. They do take away the pink ward, and now they finally realize what wards they're on.
Oh, ult comes in.
They're actually looking to go onto Rengus for a dive here. That's just the ulti burnt early, but now they've grouped up as 5, looking for that collapse. Enclave need to be careful. They're trying to take down this Baron nice and quick as Scoot gets his way in. That's going to be the dragon picked up, and the flash comes out. Enclave happy with that win. They just want to walk away. Ulti used by Soft and Beartree and Wisdom. As Beartree flashes onto Kevo, the shovel comes down. That's going to be the end of... Okay, Snake dead.
Yeah, they take it down, and it shows the chasing potential off this Phelan roster. Beely will get away. They get a kill, but losing out that dragon could be pretty impactful. They're now looking potentially towards his Baron member. Very safe on the back of a choose healing, but his mana is pretty low. Right now, Rengus looking for a recall. And Enclave, they need to contest this.
They know it's happening. Scoot does have his smite if the steal's available. Hook lands onto Wisdom. You can see Beely just going to look to poke members over the wall with those sand soldiers. 5k HP onto the Baron. Scoot's already used his kick. Now Raisins on that flank. He has the shutdown. This could be a big moment for them. They don't have teleport on Rengus. They don't have teleport on Kevo for the moment, but the teleports are coming down and the bases are getting cancelled. Looks like Phelan just step away. They don't contest the Baron anymore. Enclave will walk away. The right of the arcane comes onto Beely. Yeah, she takes most of those shots.
It takes all of them, so great snipe from Chimera, but not enough to take him down. And that play was really good coming out from Phelan, because Rengus had to burn his ult before the fight even kicked off. But unfortunately,
they actually try to go into Chimera. Raisins throws out the ignite. He's low HP, but not enough to continue for the chase. And Chimera burns a flash and an ignite out here. Now Soft might be the one who's in for a bit of trouble. Wisdom coming in.
What are you doing?
Instant shutdown there. That's the hook by Raisins. Phantom Undertow does not secure the snipe. And now Rengus, he is in a dangerous position. He's trying to get those cooldowns, but he's low. Miasma lands onto multiple members. Can he get over the wall with a shuriken flip? He flashes away. That's going to be a lot of damage thrown onto Rengus and Wisdom. And Baron might just get started up by Enclave here.
Yeah,
they've got Beely. They've got the ability to do it.
No jungler available for Phelan, so the smite contest is not there.
This is a disgustingly fast Baron.
It's
you
gone.
got Cassiopeia and Azir. They melt this objective. Baron gets picked up for Enclave. And while these fights have been hairy, they've been dicey. Now they've got Baron. Now they can reset the map and look for a 1-3-1. Pull Phelan's resources around, because their primary wave clear, Chimera, isn't going to be doing as much damage. He's not going to be able to one-shot the waves anymore because of Baron buff.
Yeah, I mean, Phelan are a deathful comp. They want to group around that Sona, and they're not going to be able to when Enclave split up the map with that Baron. A lot of misplays coming out there. They went for the Akali to try and kill her, but there was no way that was going to happen. All they did was force a roll, and in return, they end up throwing away the Infernal for it. They did get back time to contest it. You have a disconnect coming out from Scoot, but it appears he is still there. I think it's just
a bug. It's a little bug on our end.
But yeah, lots of misplays coming out from Phelan, and Soft was the biggest one. He had a rough early game, brought it back, but that play, when you're at that HP, what are you doing walking up like that? Just really costing his team a lot with that throw.
Question to me is, what are Enclave going to do with this Baron? Because so far they used it to reset. Obviously, they took it off the board, denied it from Phelan, which kind of allows them to control this gold lead for a little bit longer. And you can see multiple members are just having a bit of a sniff around here towards where Kevo is. They want to try and get that ambush off onto him. Raisins clearing out a little bit of the vision. Gets actually a hook onto Chimera. Phantom Undertow to dodge away on the stun.
But look, they've been routed. They're focusing on this bot side to try and find a pick. And in return, Beely, he's pushing up mid. He's taken one tower. He's set up his own. Phelan out of position.
Actually able to wreck that tower nice and quick. Try and clearing out the wave here, but Enclave can just step back underneath their tower, play from a distance, wait for their next wave, Baron it up. Meanwhile, Rengus in the 1-4 is in that bot lane. He's going to look to pressure out this turret here. And Phelan are just kind of stuck at a loss.
Yeah, they just keep getting drawn around the map, and they want to group, and Enclave won't allow that to happen. Chimera, so strong with his wave clip, he had to back off the mana. Is coming back, just find poke on Beely, he's very low.
Yeah, you were saying that Beely's doing a good job of dodging some of this damage, but actually does take a big cue to the face there. Kevo, he's okay though. He's able to dodge away, and while Beely had to base, they still have the power of the sand tower.
Keeping back in top lane, they're looking to push here, but Chimera has moved over. His wave clear is so strong right now. But
Even
now
with
you
the
can
Baron
see they've split it up. So Beely's in the top side just applying that Baron buff. Chimera has to answer, and in return, the mid lane's being pushed, and now a rotation might come out.
Yeah, they should be able to take this down fairly quickly as well with the attack speed that the Azir has. With the changes to the AP, Raisin's able to dodge away narrowly on a few abilities there. This should just be this tier 2 in the top side going down. It's continuing to extend the gold here for Enclave. Only one tower outside the base remaining. But Bear Tree is doing a very good job to defend so far. Scoot continues to push up this mid lane, and Enclave are pulling Phelan around the map. They've got 40 seconds left on this Baron. I don't know if they're going to be able to crack too many more turrets here.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is Chimera is just doing such a monster job at providing this wave clear. It's going to be very difficult to crack the base unless they kill him, and right now, they know it's way too risky to go for, so they'll take the extra gold they got. I think after this, they're just going to look to reset.
Yeah, that Mountain Drake's coming up as well, so maybe they look to try and step back for that as a Q. Goes for a little bit of poke onto Scoot, but Scoot got a fair amount of sustain from the spell vamp he gets from his W. Rengus unable to take this turret in the bot lane as Baron will now fade.
Yeah, they will move towards the bot side, pick up some jungle camps, get that Mountain Dragon. Enclave in a pretty good position if they get to the Elder Dragon stage. And if you think their Baron was fast before, it's going to be super speedy now.
Scoot's actually just gone to clear out the...
Supremely confident.
He's just going for the crooks. He's like trying to play hard denial on Soft here. He knows that there's no contest. That's going to be the Drake picked up. Next one's a Cloud. They can equalize that one out with Phelan as well.
The thing is, at this point in the game, it's not just denial on Soft. Everyone on Phelan will take jungle camps when they're available. So the more that you deny, the more you're putting the gold in the favor of Enclave. So now they can reset. Look at the top side of the jungle. All those camps are up. You can see Kevo already heading over to the Raptors. They will just pick up this farm, and it's going to just push this gold lead further and further in favor of Enclave. It was very close for a while, but 5,000 right now.
Rengus is actually the one who picked up the Morellonomicon, but we saw Kevo actually go for the Crystal Scepter. So once that kind of AoE slow that he's going to be able to apply. Now going to base here, can see what they're going to look to pick up as the next kind of major buy. It's going to be instantly Andries. So again, no Morello being picked up for Kevo. Keep in mind that because you can't buy boots on Cassiopeia, he actually doesn't have any penetration at the moment. The Andries was changed a very long time ago not to give you that. So this is a 0-pen Cassiopeia with not a lot of abilities to cut through a lot of the healing that Phelan have, but for the moment, it's going to be a very high damage Cassiopeia. It's going to be a team fight Cassiopeia with the slows. And that's what he's looking to build towards, hoping that Rengus is going to be the one applying the Grievous Wounds for the team.
Think the big thing as well is the kite ability, because you saw Kevo constantly getting run down by the likes of Phelan with the movement speed from the Sona, the Olaf as well, and the flank potential off the Tahm Kench. So now with that Rylai's, even without the Miasma, you can provide some zone control and kite potential. Enclave were looking for something, but I don't think you're going to find anything there. That three-man duo of Soft, Achu, and Wisdom, when they're together, very difficult to punish.
You can see Scoot was in the wings waiting to see if he could get one. Oh.
This kind of game where you don't know if you win until you actually kill the Nexus. And even then, sometimes you don't know if you really won the game. But right now, absolutely right, this is a pretty close game. Enclave in the lead. The Phelan showing a lot of presence here.
Look at the flank, though. You can see that Scoot is pulling the minions away, but now he's actually the one who's being run down. The hook lands onto Soft by Raisins to just thwart the engage. The flank is cancelled, and now 5 members of Phelan group up in this mid lane. Kevo, low HP, forces to use the Miasma. Chu flashes in, misses out on the ulti, and now Beely on that flank with the Sand Soldiers. This will just be the end of this turret, though, as it does fall.
And this is the crazy thing about the Sona compositions, is that they're 5,000 gold down, and still Enclave can't find an angle to look for a fight. They have to back up, they have to respect the poke. And Chimera, he's now picked up that Rabadons. When he hits a squishy member, which is basically everyone on Enclave, he cuts through them.
Raisins, having a bit of a look around there. Pick does connect, it might just go for the hook. That's going to land onto Soft. Soft uses the ulti, Wisdom gobbles him up. That's all she wrote on the fight. This is why it's so hard to play into a Tahm Kench.
And now Enclave feel like they may stop Baron. Remember, Mountain Double Inferno, this goes lightning fast, and no ult for Soft.
You do have to be careful of that poke, though. Chimera will take a little bit from Beely. They back off the Baron. It's going to reset. You can see Wisdom now, Rengus now in that mid lane, just pushing the wave up. Hook goes a little bit wide, and Enclave force this wave towards the base of Phelan, and Phelan have to respond. They have to send someone to do it. So it's back to Baron for Enclave.
Yeah, and you can see Scoot.
That's Wisdom. That's Wisdom. That's the Miasma. He's low. The dunk comes down by Raisin as he X marks the spot. Finds himself the kill onto the support there of Phelan.
It's a lot of safety reduced for this side of Phelan now, but you can see Kamara, he's looking for poke.
Yeah, Kevo's low. Right in the arcade, the Petrifying Gaze is going to be used, but Kevo's low. Rengus jumps in, slides in, gets himself the kill. Enclave over the board, find multiple kills. Bear Tree is low. The trade has taken off, and Phelan will have to run away from Enclave as they turn their attention towards this Baron. They still do it exceptionally fast with just the Azir.
Yeah, that's all they need. Soft may look to head over. Rengus is pretty strong right now.
Yeah, Rengus doing a lot of damage, actually. Does need to be careful as actually they're using the teleport. They're bringing members up. That's the Baron picked up, and Phelan just too slow to the punch. Phelan with Bear Tree's appearance. I couldn't find the word there. With the appearance, actually unable to make it in time.
Yeah, and despite everything, despite Kevo getting bursted out there, the fact they took away Wisdom cut down the safety for Phelan's backline, and then Scoot and Rengus were just flawless in their execution. The ult coming in, you saw how much burst damage that did to Kamara, and with him off the table, there wasn't potential for Phelan to win the fight. It was hard, even with the gold lead for Enclave to find the winning fight, and yet they still managed to do it from some really solid coordination.
And it looks like Kevo's actually building towards the Death Cap as the next item as well on him. With that needlessly large rod, Deceiver, now Enclave is setting up for the Cloud Drake. They just do these objectives so fast.
I wouldn't have actually minded a Banshees for Kevo, considering how heavily he's getting focused down, but is going the more aggressive path here. They will get another Dragon next, will be that Elder. Not bad for Phelan, but definitely stacked in Enclave's favor if they're able to secure that one.
Throwing out a few wards here. Kamara's been the one sent down to that bot side. Remember, he still has a lot of wave clear. Scoot will take a bit of poke from Kamara and a Chew. They've still got the wards to work with, and this will be the last tier 2 that Enclave need to crack here. Look at the rest of the team, though. You can see that actually Wisdom and Bear Tree are grouped up together. That's because they can ult behind at any time, and they're going for it. Beely might be the one getting caught out, but actually, they're looking to cut him off. He uses the ult. He goes golden. Kevo, he's the one being chased down. Wisdom flashes in with a tongue lash. Beely jumps over the wall. Scoot gets the kick onto Soft, and now Rengus, he's joined into the fray. Phelan have already found themselves one, and Rengus has to ult out to safety, but he is stuck on the wrong way. He is running away from his team. He is running away from his base. Rengus has that shuriken flip to clear the wall, but the tower shots are chasing him down. It's so hard to run away from a Sona, from a Olaf, from a Tahm Kench, and from an Aatrox. Rengus is in for a whole world of hurt, but the rest of the team now grouping up to try and take down this turret. That's going to be the end of Rengus as he goes golden. The W will pick up the kill, and Kamara gets the shutdown.
And it's a messy team fight, but in the end, Phelan managed to win it. Remember, Enclave, they wanted to make the push with the Baron, and it's been completely cut down there. Kevo goes down, Rengus goes down, and the push is negated. Now Phelan, with this 5-man strong comp, they're going to push forward and look to challenge them.
You are completely right, Mixalt Esports. Everyone's talking about Bear Tree. This dude has been so impressive in his debut split.
In competitive. First game, and a really important match, because this is Phelan's opportunity to pick up points, save for Enclave, and he's been popping off.
Oh, Chew flashes in, tries to get the kick, but actually he gets caught up, gobbled down, and Bailey able to make his way out, but down comes the right of the arcane. Bailey has to dodge it. Oh, 4 shots. Oh, 5 shots. Makes it out alive. Now Kevo on that flank. Looks like Phelan, they want to try and crack the base here. Kevo takes a little bit of damage, but he's able to walk out. Hook just skims Wisdom's bum, but he's able to walk away.
The fancy feet coming out from Bailey. Such great moves there to dodge every single shot. The burst damage looked to be there, but just wasn't enough. And it's the same thing that happened last team fight. Bailey evading death just slightly. So close, but managing to survive. And he is a critical part of this composition where other members have fallen. Rengus and Kevo in the last team fight, he has remained strong despite Phelan's best attempts to shut him down. And remember, he is the main source of wave clear. If he goes down, so does your base. And speaking of bases, look at Enclaves. They still have all the towers in the top and bot lane. And this is why, because Phelan are playing a Sona comp, they want to group up, they want to be as a unit. And the problem is that they've just set their camp down in mid lane. If they want to go for bot or top, they have to move the entire team there. And they're just not willing to do it when Enclave have so much pressure.
And this tells the story of why Enclave have got the previous 2 Barons. Because of where their towers are, because they're able to push the waves up from a safer distance, they're able to work the side lanes in their favor, which then means they can set up for Baron more effectively than Phelan can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the same will be for this Elder as well. If Phelan want to contest the Elder, they need to start looking to set up their lanes because their ARAM comp doesn't work for global contests.
Absolutely, and they need to get in there early. And the problem is if they go in there without vision control, they are very liable to get flanked and shut down. As soon as Wisdom fell in the fight they had around the Baron, it felt like Chimera and Achu just had no safety and the composition fell apart. So yes, normally the supports aren't the most impactful members at this point, but if Wisdom dies, then the carries have no safety. So he is crucial in these late game team fights.
Well, Raisin's only managed to find, I believe, well, he's got 4 kills, but I'm fairly certain only 3 of them come from his ult so far. He's actually gone for himself an Executioner's Cooling. So he's looking to cut some healing here.
He's had that for a while. I think he's had it since laning phase, just to cut through the healing. He's the one who opted to go for that cheap 800 gold Grievous Runes option, cut down the healing from the Sona.
That makes more sense on why we're not seeing Kevo pick up the
Morale Nomicon, yeah.
yeah.
It is harder to apply it on something like a Pike. Rengus might be looking for something.
Yeah, Rengus actually could jump in. Bear Tree just umble dashes over the wall. That's going to be a hook onto Wisdom, into a Tongue Lash onto Rengus. He throws down himself a Shroud, the right of the Arcane onto Rengus. That's doing a lot of damage. Raisins has to flash away. One more shot. Not going to find his mark, and that's the power of the Pike. He's able just to heal up completely with his passive.
But it does show how squishy Raisins is. Yes, he looks pseudo-tanky because of the stain, but if you land enough damage on him, he blows up very fast.
Didn't pop his GA though. That's the key thing. He held it, and for the Elder, holding this GA is big. You can also see there's a GA on Scoot as well, so lots of health bars, lots of regeneration. People you have to kill twice, but look at Chimera. He's just running it down the mid lane. Looks like Phelan are quite happy to contest 4v5. Raisins jumps in forward, tries to get himself a hook, lands it onto Bear Tree. Phantom Undertow doesn't stun anyone up. Chimera joins up the rest of the team. That's going to be the Drake picked up. It's burning for Enclave. They now try to see if they can get some damage down. The hook lands onto Bear Tree. The dunk comes out by Raisins. He's managed to find himself one. Rengus slides and glides away, but Beely comes in for more. That's going to be another kill picked up for everyone on Enclave. They get the ace as Chimera will melt, and Enclave will take the team fight, take the Elder Drake.
And they will get the game from here. There is no way Phelan survived this one. They managed to kill the Elder, and then Rengus, he had such a rough game, but that team fight he played flawlessly, dashing away to sidestep a Choose Crescendo and then shutting him down. Enclave, they had a rough game here, but they put their all into it, and it's paid off right now.
It did pay off. 20 seconds left on Wisdom, 21 on Achu. Can they get up in time?
No
Enclave
chance.
will not even give them a hope in hell as they are just melting through the turrets. It's 40 minutes on the clock. It was a hard-fought victory, but Enclave get their second win of the UKLC Summer Split.
And now they are out of that relegation spot. Still possible, but they have pushed themselves away, got a little bit of safety, and they must feel so much better after that win. It was close, and Phelan put up a massive fight. And you got to give credit to Bear Tree coming in on his debut, but they wouldn't find the win. Really confident call just to go for the Elder Dragon at the end. And then Rengus, that play on Akali, when he dashed to the side, this sidestep the Crescendo, that was hypey.
That was so hypey. I mean, that fight, I was like looking at everything, and I was like, I don't know what to talk about. There's so much happening all at once, and it was a fight of just so many micro right decisions made by Enclave.
And you can't heal through that. You know, 4 Dragon, Elder, you can't heal through that, Sona. Unlucky, but...
Do you know what else is unlucky?
What?
Your predictions. You voted Phelan. I am still smurfing predictions, by the way. I am absolutely wiping the floor with you right now on this.
Yep.
How does it feel to be, you know, the resident color caster, the resident smart guy, the resident big brain?
I mean, you get enough
and
things...
you have me. You have me, just some dude.
I mean, the thing is, right, is you can show this predictions board as much as you want.
No, I want to show this as much as I want.
But all anyone has to do is listen to you talk for about a minute, and they'll just be like, nah, he's just guessing. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Don't reveal my secret.
Oh, sorry.
No, to be fair, actually, a lot of it is guessing, but this was a fairly informed... I'm not going to lie, but this was actually an informed one. I watched Enclave last week, and I was like, okay, yeah. I think they could take this.
Okay.
But this was like one of my most informed ones.
But do you flip a coin or do you have like a magic 8 ball? Is that what you usually do?
Will Eminem take the tower? Definitely not. And then I put them down anyway.
Yeah. Well, you know, 8 balls can't always be right, but apparently you can.
Yeah,
so.
well, I actually just Twinkos.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
That's a fairly simple one.
I try to go for whatever you're not going for. because you're wrong all the time.
It's so true.
It's like you went Phelan, and I was like, yeah, Enclave.
If you'd literally just gone on my last week's and you just picked exact opposite, you'd have got a full week.
All right, guys. Well, we're just going to cut to a quick break, and when we're back, it's going to be Diabolus versus Envision. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you in